Hello guys, it's me Icon and welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to be talking about Loid Forger's tragic past and the reason why he became a spy. So guys, just sit back and enjoy the ride. Let's start from when Loid was a child. When he was little, he was always a fan of playing war games with his friends, and he has always been winning anytime he plays. So they asked why he always gets so serious when playing, but his reply was that when he plays a role he gets pretty into it. After he has finished playing, he goes home happily and was surprised to see his dad, who was always busy, that he doesn't have time to come home. So he stealthily hides the toy gun behind him because he knows his dad don't like him playing war games with his friends. His dad gave him another warning that he shouldn't be playing those games with friends no more, that he needs to get serious with his studies, but Loid replies his dad that both him and his friends want to join the army together and they want to kill all the evil monsters from the east. And he told Loid that there isn't going to be any war, that he should wish for peace and not conflict, that he doesn't know the terror of what war brings because he is still a child, which made Loid angry that he locked himself in his room. The next day Loid went out with his friends to hang out but decided to have a quick meal because they felt hungry, but they were called upon by some couple of old men to help them lift some heavy weights, but in exchange they will give them some candies. Meanwhile, some of friends complain about the boxes being heavy, but an old man replied Loid friends that they won't be able to fight for their country if there were this week. So Loid asked one of the old men if there were going to be a war, but one of the old men replied that as long as Loid and his friends keep playing make-believe, everything is going to be fine, that the conflict had ended due to the pacts that was made. But one of the old men screamed that you fools are blind, that's what the enemy wants us to think. The next day Loid is seen lying to his dad that he needed pocket money to buy a reference books he needed for school, which made Loid dad so happy that he finally listened to him and gave him some pocket money, but deep inside Loid he knew it was a lie and felt so bad about it. The next day Loid is seen with a new toy gun and showing it to his friends on how cool he is. So his friends decided to play war games again today, but Loid felt so bad about lying to his dad and decided not to play war games and left his newly bought toy gun in their hideout. Loid is seen talking to a lady who sells croquette, asking her if he would make a good soldier, but the lady replies to his question by saying it would matter because war is stupid and senseless. She also said that Loid looks more cuter with a croquette in his hands than a gun. So Loid asked the lady if the people at the east if there were monsters with horn, but she replies that she had cousins in the east, that if there were monsters she would be a monster that sells croquette. After Loid finished listening to the old man and started thinking about not knowing what to do anymore because everything she told him was different from what he thought the east was. So he asked the lady if he would be able to make 10 dalks so as to pay back the money he asked from his dad back in A. Meanwhile, an explosion occurred in the city, destroying everything and killing everyone. Loid knows. Loid couldn't believe at what just unfolded with his very own eyes, saying there won't be any war. While Loid was still in a trance, a familiar voice screamed his name and hugged him, asking if he was hurt anywhere, and she thanked the heavens that nothing bad happened to him. And his mom took Loid home to pack any of their belongings that escaped the explosion and go to their uncle's place that was far away from town. The next day Loid is seen crying in the corner, blaming all the adults, even his dad, for being a liar, saying there won't be war, and even started blaming himself for also being a liar, and decided to tell his dad the truth when he comes home. So Loid ran to his mom saying that let's go back home, what if dad came home and we are not there, and that he also wants to meet his friends. But his mom hugged him tightly with tears dripping down her cheeks as she tells him the bad news, saying his dad and friends are dead. The next day Loid was seen fishing for food and mumbling to himself that mom will be happy to have fish tonight since there hasn't been much food lately. But before he could complete his sentence, he heard an emergency siren and people screaming it was an air raid, and quickly ran to the direction of his uncle's house where his mom was, but he was already too late because what he saw was a destroyed house with his mom and uncle dead, losing everything and everyone he cared about. He picked up his gun for vengeance and lied about his age so he could be enlisted to the army to wait for his death in battle. He had killed thousands over thousands, but nothing could fill up the empty space he felt in his heart. But everything began to change when he met Frankie, who he was about to kill, but he begged for Loid not to kill him. Loid asked him where was his gun, but Frankie answered him that he doesn't have any, that he ran away because he couldn't handle all the killings, and begged Loid give him something to eat, but Loid replied him that he don't have food to give to dead men. But still Frankie kept begging him not to kill him, that he don't want to die without having a woman, which made Loid smile and laugh for the first time in a long time. So Loid gave Frankie one cigarette since they had just became war buddies, and Frankie started talking about how the whole war between the East and West being stupid, that it was just a diplomatic fiasco, that why is it that it is always them worthless fiasco that cleans up their mess, that they tell them to hate each other, so we fight and then we die, that it's the most pointless thing in the world. Loid then said yeah, expect it was the East that started, but Frankie also told Loid that in the East that they said it was the West that started the war, and the first bombing was a false flag operation, which made Loid angry, and told Frankie that it was the bombing that killed his friends and father, and pointed a gun towards his head. But Frankie told Loid that a bunch of foot soldiers like us know nothing about the truth. Loid got more mad than kicked Frankie with his foot and shouted it was your side that started the war. As he was about to shoot Frankie, a flying bullet shoot his helmet, which made Loid fall to the ground, and Frankie ran away, not wanting to die, with incredible speed. Loid narrowly returned to camp, narrowly escaping death, and received treatment. Then the next day Loid was seen cooking breakfast for the army, until his friend recognizes him and shouted his nickname advisor, and to Loid's surprise he saw his childhood friends, and tears started falling from his face. Loid told them about how he blamed himself for their death every day, and that he wanted them to play like before when there were kids, that if they were free this weekend that let's go to a restaurant. But they told Loid that their squad were being deployed tonight, that once they come back they would hang out together like always, that it is a promise. Later Loid discovered that the operation that his childhood friends were assigned to was a suicide mission that was poorly planned, and what came back were just their dog tags. Losing everything once more, Loid hated everything about life and blamed himself for once again losing everything close to him without being able to do anything, until one day Loid met a man who picked up one of the onions that fell to the floor and said this whole world is a giant onion, big and round, with one false layer after another, and if you cut through those layers of lies there are gonna be tears. Loid replied to the unknown man that he was sorry, but these onions ain't for sale, but they were for the military. The man walking closer to Loid said he was in the military, but that is what you want him to think. Loid, confused about what the unknown man was talking about, and asked in his mind who he was. The man called the name Loid used in entering the army, Roland Spoofy, or was it he called Loid original name. Loid became surprised about how he knew his original name, but the unknown man told Loid about how the reunion with his old friend exposed his true identity, and that he was from military intelligence and he came to recruit him. He also told Loid about how he got real talents and that he should join them for the sake of winning the war. The next day Loid followed the man, abandoning his name and his past, and became the agent known as Twilight. In the ending of the flashback back chapter you will see Loid with a sad expression telling Anya to always cherish her friends. Hello, it's Ikenim. I just want to make things clear that Loid wasn't his given name, but it was his agent name for the mission Loid is currently in, and please you can subscribe to my channel so as to support me. You can also leave a comment if you have any questions or any complaints on anything I did on this video. Arigato, see you next time on my next video.